Some would say whiskey is an acquired taste, but with the right guidance and information, everyone can find the perfect whiskey to casually drink to or even to pair with certain foods. Recently, Pepiest hosted a few tasting sessions with a brand ambassador for Macallan and Highland Park whiskey. Mr. Joe Cabasa is the brand ambassador for Macallan and Highland Park whiskey. The two brands may fall under the same portfolio, but taste vary greatly.
Well, Macallan in particular is a peerless spirit. The way it's made, it's all about building the best quality possible. We like to say that at Macallan we have a healthy obsession with quality. All right? So the result of the whiskey is just a peerless spirit, recognized around the world. In the case of Highland Park, it's unique. It's combination of flavors and character. It's unique to any other single malt in Scotland. All right? In the case of Highland Park, it's known as a surprisingly sweet whiskey in terms of character, but then it's just a touch of smoke in the back. Just amazing character.
Aruba's service industry just became more knowledgeable when it comes to whiskey. A majority of the island's bartenders, servers, and managers attended the sessions led by the brand ambassador. Mr. Cabasa has a few tips, one of them being, don't be afraid to mix it up.
Well, certainly whiskey, it's something you need to try and savor and get to know, certainly, right? But what I will say that once you try it, you fall in love with it. Whiskey offers you so many complexity and flavors that it's something not only just something to enjoy, but something to experiment as well. For instance, if you are out in at a party outdoors in a terrace or maybe early afternoon or late afternoon, if you don't want to have a beer, you can have a Macallan amber, for instance, a few blocks of ice, splash of ginger ale, right? Or maybe just a splash of apple juice, just enough to refresh the whiskey or bring out some of the flavors that are contained within it.
There is one specific concoction that the brand ambassador highly recommends for those who are enjoying Macallan or Highland Park whiskey on the island.
Well, in the Caribbean, obviously, if you like to have your amber with a little coconut water, it will work perfectly. As a matter of fact, a whiskey with a sweetness and a touch of smokiness, much like Highland Park, with a touch of coconut water, will do just wonders.
They say red wine goes with steak and white with fish, but what about when it comes to whiskey? The brand ambassador says food and whiskey most certainly go very well together, and certain pairings match up better than others.
Well, what grows together goes together. If you're going to have a nice Scottish salmon, Scotch whiskey will do very well with it. If you're going to have haggis, well, Scotch whiskey goes well with it. Having said that, obviously, depending on the character of the whiskey, you can pair with certain food, right? For instance, if you're going to have a smoked fish or maybe a grilled steak, well, you're going to need a nice whiskey with a lot of character to it. A sherry oak 12-year-old. Macallan, a Highland Park 12-year-old, nice character, will match very well with a nice grilled steak, for instance. Right? So depending on the character and the flavor richness of the food, you can match with a Scotch whiskey as well.
During the whiskey sessions, the brand ambassador explained the various expressions Macallan and Highland Park offer. Proper suggestive selling is the objective. When it comes to whiskey, it is important for restaurant service staff to be a trusted advisor and know when and who to offer each type of whiskey to. There you go, a little info on whiskey to close off today's edition of 15 on 15.